Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation to show you the capabilities of Workbooks CRM and what areas of your business it can address and how my company, Wizard Systems, can help you with any CRM project you're contemplating there. We run these short sessions presentations every Friday. Generally this time, 10 o'clock UK time. And we focus on different aspects of workbooks. Workbooks can do many things for your business. And today we're going to take a closer look at using workbooks for tracking customer service activity. Now this presentation will be approximately 30 minutes duration, so this is just a basic session. Every company, every organization uses CRM in different ways. Everyone's got different requirements, and I wouldn't have enough time this morning to go over all of the capabilities of workbooks. So after the session, if you want to explore workbooks in more detail, we'd love to organize a one-to-one session with you and your colleagues, and we can obviously then go over your specific needs and requirements and hopefully show you how workbooks could address those. Now also on the call today, we've got some people looking down the names of attendees. I can see that some people are already on a trial of workbooks, so you might be fairly familiar with some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about shortly, and some people have never seen it at all. So excuse me if I'm going over some old ground here that you know about already. I've got to go at the speed of the slower, so to speak. Now the audio part of this presentation is one way only. Your microphone is on mute, so don't worry about any background noises there. If you've got any questions, please type those into the questions section on your meeting control panel. Hopefully you can see that lurking somewhere in your top right corner of your screen. And I'll do my best to answer those at the end of the session. Also, this presentation is being recorded. After the presentation, you will get an automatic email from our system just to give you a link to the recording. And you can, of course, share that with your colleagues. And we normally put it up on YouTube as well for greater sharing up there. Okay, so let's get started then. Just a brief mention about our company, Wizard Systems. We're an independent reseller or dealer of CRM systems. All we do is CRM. We've been doing this a long time. And with workbooks, of course, you subscribe to the system. There's nothing to install. And we have clients that do their own thing with workbooks. They set it up themselves. They learn how to use it themselves. But we're here to assist you in any step of the way, working with you on any aspect of getting workbooks set up for you, maybe migrating data from an old application to this new system, customizing the system to your requirements, integrating with other applications, tweaking the reports. We can provide training. Now, we're based in Bristol, UK. We cover the whole of the UK. We even go further afield. We've got implementations outside of the UK as well. And we can train you at your offices. You can come to us. We can do training online as well. So there's 3 different delivery methods there of training. And we provide all the ongoing support as well. So if you get stuck, you call our friendly help desk service, and we'll assist you as best we can. So of course the key thing we want to get at in any dialogue, future dialogue with you, is what are you looking to achieve with workbooks and CRM generally? Are you replacing an older CRM system? Maybe you're a startup business and you see desperately a need for a central system to help you promote your company and start the business off. Are you looking for better marketing, tracking sales, tracking quotes more effectively, helping you acquire more customers, improve customer service, which is what we're going to focus on today. So it may be a combination of those, and we really want to try and get to how are you going to measure, how effective this CRM system is 3 months down the line after you've been using workbooks, and you look back and you think, well, what have we achieved? How are you going to measure that ROI? And that's really what we want to try and get at in in any workings with you. So what is Workbooks? Well, it's a ready-made system for managing your leads, your prospects, your customers in one place, tracking your interactions with those people as well. There's some marketing tools in there to help you be more efficient and targeted with your communications to your clients. Now, unusually for a CRM system, we can also do sales quotes and order processing. This might be relevant for customer service as well. You may have service people that need to do quotes for calls or equipment, so they can do that as well in the system. And going beyond a quote, we can then also create orders and invoices as an option. There are two different editions of Workbooks. When you sign up for Workbooks, you've got two choices. There's CRM Edition or Business Edition. Now, Business Edition is priced slightly higher. I'll cover pricing towards the end, but Business Edition will allow you to do sales orders and invoices and credit notes, more of the sort of financial stuff there. So, do you have any customer service people, engineers, technicians, a help desk? Then they too can use Workbooks. So you're then working more efficiently as a team. The salespeople know what the support people are up to and vice versa. Might be quite critical to improve that sharing of information there. And Workbooks, as well as it being a personal productivity tool, it's also a management tool for you to help you make better decisions and control your business more efficiently. Now, Workbooks has been around a long time. It's a UK system. We're often asked, being a cloud system, it's 100% cloud, where's my data? Well, it's in a couple of two very secure facilities in the UK. All the data is in the UK. And a very robust, reliable system. Last year, 2014, we had a 99.99% uptime with Workbooks. So it's there wherever you are, available for you. It's also got, it's also certified for the 5 releases of what's called the G-Cloud Government Certification Program. Bit of a mouthful, but basically, if you're in central government or local government, you're not supposed to go for any cloud application that doesn't really have that certification. So if it's okay for central government, it must be okay for B2B commercial operations. And also Workbooks won CRM Product of the Year 2014 and also the previous year 2013. So it's won lots of awards both in the UK and internationally as well. So now just focusing on contact management. Well, with Workbooks you get a ready-made database. It's essentially a database, and you can customize it as well. When I shortly take you into the system, the screens we see, you can change. You don't need to be a programmer. It is so easy for you to change the fields, take fields away, add fields to it, define different access levels as well. So if you want users not to be able to delete stuff or see certain information, there's options for doing that. Of course, you're managing all of your activities, your daily schedule. This is controlling your working day, and you can delegate tasks to colleagues. They can see where the task came from, so you're sharing this activity information. All these activities are stored, being recorded against the client's record. So over time, you're building up a wonderful history of everything that you've done, everything your colleagues have done with that client, together with emails. We can interface with any email system. There's a rather nice integration with Outlook. This is an option with Workbooks, so you do pay a little bit extra for the Outlook integration, but it gives you really nice email integration plus the ability to share with Outlook in a bi-directional way your activities. So you can share the calendar in Workbooks with the calendar in Outlook and your contacts as well in a bi-directional way. And we include in the subscription with Workbooks access from your mobile device or tablet. You'll actually get a simpler view of the system, of course, when you're working with a smaller screen size there. But that's all included. And we're shortly going to be launching an offline app. So if you're out and about, you've got no internet access, you will shortly be able to see at least all basic contact and activity information in there. And we'll work with any browser, by the way, as well. So if you're using an Apple Mac or any other browser there, we'll work with that. Now, a quick mention about marketing. Increasing, we're finding that many organizations are getting very active with email marketing and other marketing activities. So with Workbooks, you've got an easy way of getting data in and out of Workbooks. So if you've got an Excel spreadsheet right now, think about where is your data right now. Typically, when you don't have a CRM system, you might have multiple Excel spreadsheets in your business and data all over the place. Well, don't worry, you can amalgamate all that back into Workbooks with an easy import tool. And on the flip side of that is exporting. Anything you've got in Workbooks, you can export as well in an Excel or a CSV format. So complete access to all of your data there. We also can integrate with your web forms. So if you're wanting to track new inquiries, and also with customer cases, if you've got a form on your website where you're inviting customers to register themselves or register an issue, a product issue, then we've got these web forms built into Workbooks, and you can easily put those up on your website and integrate them with Workbooks, so that as somebody fills in their details on your website and they hit the submit button, that automatically becomes a record in Workbooks, either as a new inquiry or as a customer service issue. And then Workbooks has some workflow in the background 24/7. It can be made to do things automatically for you. So for example, with the web form integration, it will, as standard, send you an email into your inbox to alert you that you've got a new inquiry that needs responding to. But with the workflow, you can then get a little bit cleverer. You might need a little bit of help from Wizard Systems. We can show you how to do this workflow, but getting extra productivity out of it and stopping things slipping through the net. So everything is being recorded. So putting our marketing hat on, we've got an easy way of creating lists. So before you do a marketing campaign, before you send out your monthly newsletter, you think, well, who am I going to send it to? Well, it's very easy to create that list in Workbooks. And then that list of people, that list of recipients, we integrate as standard with 3 very popular systems. MailChimp is probably the most popular one, certainly in the UK. Constant Contact and Dotmailers. So we've got a integration built in, nothing extra to pay, and that list that you create in Workbooks, that's uploaded to one of those 3 systems. And then, of course, those 3 systems, they will allow you to create the nice looking email in HTML very easily. These systems include a library of well over 3 to 400 different types of emails. They will deliver the email for you, and then with the integration with Workbooks, comes back into Workbooks the responses. So we can see against a client's record everything that they've been sent, emails they opened, what links did they click on, and also looking at bounce back and opt-out information as well. Quick mention about quotations and opportunity management. So we've got an easy way of creating sales quotes and managing your sales opportunities. You can store your price list, standard prices in Workbooks as well. You can import those prices into Workbooks. You can define any number of different quote layouts. Now these layouts, these templates are generated into a PDF format. So the tool in Workbooks allows you to tweak the layout and put in your company logo, for example, your terms and conditions, your contact details. And we can do some pretty clever things with those different layouts there for any type of document that you want to create, a quote, an order, or an invoice, if you've got the relevant option there. And fully integrated with the opportunity management system. So anyone attending today, we've got about over 50 people on the call today. and I'm sure some of you will be in a sales or management role. And so the opportunity manager, the opportunity part of workbooks is a very, very popular part of it to track all of these opportunities. And if you've got the business edition, you've got options then for think about the business process. And you've sent the quote to the client, and they then order. How do we manage that order, the invoice, the delivery, and so on? That can all be tracked through workbooks. We've also got options for linking to Sage 50. So if anyone out there is using Sage 50 or Sage 200, we can integrate with that. So these documents can be transferred into Sage as an order and invoice without the need for rekeying in information. So we're here this morning to focus a little bit more on customer service and so this is all built into workbooks. You get this anyway. If for any reason this capability is not relevant to you, you don't have any service issues to track, then don't worry, this can be disabled so it doesn't interfere with your usage of workbooks. But on a separate screen, we can track the service issue, the case, or the ticket as it's called, and it's given a case number. And the screen that you've got in workbooks can be customized, so you can tell it what information you want to record and apply deadlines, for example. As you're tracking, as you're recording these issues, you're then building up some trends of the history of these issues, so you can easily see, spot trends on what are the most common issues that come in, who are the top customers that are giving you these problems, how many issues right now are being dealt with by your colleagues, by agents. So workbooks can give you answers to these questions. And you're building up a sort of knowledge base of FAQs there and typical problems and what the solutions were. So last slide before I dive into the demo proper, and putting your manager's hat on now with workbooks. Hopefully you can see that you've got a great tool for managing activity levels. So how many leads have we got coming in, and how many calls are we doing, how many meetings are we doing? Of course, the opportunity management part is a key part to it, and is sometimes the one reason why some clients subscribe to workbooks in the first place, to get a better management of their sales process. And we've got a report writer in workbooks. There's about 50 or so reports, ready-made reports to get you going, and you can create your own reports as well. We've got flashy dashboards also to complement those reports, real-time bar graphs, pie charts, giving you information right now as is what's happening there. Okay, hopefully all this is making sense then. So we'll dive into workbooks proper. And here we are. Apologies for those people that have seen workbooks already or on the trial. Incidentally, for those that don't know about the trial, there is a free 30-day trial that you can register for. No credit card required, by the way. If you have any questions during that trial, you contact us. You contact me or contact any of my team here, and we'll make sure you get the most out of that evaluation. So here's the workbooks desktop. We just logged in with our email address and our password, and this will work with any browser. But you should see straight away this looks familiar. It looks like your Windows desktop, doesn't it? So down there in the bottom left-hand corner, you've got your Start button, and just to the right of that, there's a Google-like search box there, so you can type in any word or phrase, and that will find that bit of information wherever it is in workbooks. But from that Start button and my Start menu, here's all of the elements of a proper CRM solution, with right at the top there the main building blocks of a CRM system, the companies you're working with, the organizations you're servicing, and the people, individual contacts. These contacts may work in those companies, for example. So nice, easy menu there to access everything at a glance. And there's also a recent items there as well. So if you're working on something recently, another way of getting to it. So you're never going to have that lost feeling with workbooks. Everything is just a one or two clicks away for you. So if I dive into organizations first of all, up pops a pretty typical window in workbooks. So when you see workbooks information, they will appear as windows on your desktop, and like any window, they can be minimized and maximized. You can also set up by default that when you log into workbooks in the morning, this particular window pops up in front of you. So here we are, rather like Excel. All of the companies that we've got in the system, you can define what columns you see here as well. You can also put people into different groups. These are called views in workbooks, and that's done using this filtering facility here. So if you click on the filter button, you can then decide what information you want to see. So these are all of the fields, if you like, in the system that you can search by, and you've got different options for how you may want to search and the value that you want to search for. So a very easy way of building up those lists there. Now if I dive into a particular company here and show you a bit more information of what we're recording about an organization. So this now is a record of a company. There we are, Atlantic Computer Supplies, and we've got some tabs running across the top there. More on that in a second or two. But on this main tab, this is the key information about this company. Now this screen here, you've got control over. You can, if you spot some fields here that aren't relevant to your business, don't worry, you can remove those fields. You can add new fields to it as well. You can add custom fields to this form, this screen, very easily, no programming required. And these fields can be different types of fields. They could be text fields, they could be for numerical information, date fields, check boxes, notes boxes. There's about 12 different types, so you're sport for choice. And you can search on any of this, you can report on any of this, you can mark it by any of this as you wish. So quickly running across the top there, we've got notes, any general notes, and also files. You can associate files, documents with a customer record. So if you've got any Word files there or Excel files, they're all easily uploaded to the system and accessed by your team. Activities, so any phone calls, meetings, tasks that you've got, you can create them here. You can schedule them for other users that pops up on their screen. We support on-screen reminders and a visual display here. We can see in this pinkish color anything that's overdue. So a nice visual display there of outstanding activities. Any emails, we'll interface with any email system, including Outlook, so any emails you send or receive to this company are displayed there. The people, you may be working with a number of different contacts at this company. Well, there they all are there, and you can dive into their records and see more information about them. Opportunities, what sales opportunities have we got on the go? And you can click into one of these and see more information about the opportunity. Again, all very customizable. So this is an example of an opportunity, and we can see here, of course, at a glance what the opportunity is all about, when it's going to close, what's the stage of negotiations with the client. You can change all of this. These are just examples for you of what Workbooks gives you. Who's the manager? Who's the salesperson that's looking after this opportunity? What type of opportunity? Where's the source? And from here, you can produce quotes, orders, and invoices. Let's just close that one down. Now, cases. This is what we're here to focus on today. Support issues. So here we can see there's 7 issues that have been logged against this client, and we can click into one of these issues here and see an example of what Workbooks can track against a support issue. Now this is pretty much a standard screen in Workbooks. So if you started using Workbooks right now, this is what it would be asking you for. So we've got a description there of the issue. We've got maybe an example of what type of issue. Maybe you've got different types of problems coming into your help desk or your support center. Of course, what's the status of this issue? Very important when we come on to reporting, management reporting, or looking from time to time at all of our outstanding issues. What's the status of them? What's the priority? How mission critical is it? Do you have any SLAs, service level agreements, in your organization or with your clients that you'll need to track? That could assist you there. Top right corner, who in my company is looking after this issue? So we can put things into a queue, a group, and then when someone has some free time, they can dive into that queue and grab the next call that's due. Or we could associate it with a particular named individual. So if you've got first level support, second level support engineers, then of course that can be adapted really well to that kind of workflow there. Of course, we've got the contact details there of the client as well, and a big description there of the issue. Plus we can set up extra custom fields if you wish. Now, running across the top of this case are those familiar tabs again. So we saw the tabs earlier on for a company. Well, here we've got the same tabs. So any general notes about this issue, including any files relating to this issue, activities that you've had, any tasks, phone calls, meetings, emails. Emails can be associated, can be linked to a record of a company and a person, but also issues as well. And there's a few other tabs there also. So a nice, easy way of seeing against a client all of those issues there. Also, there's an option with Workbooks to track contracts. So on my Transactions tab here, I can look at a contract for a client. So if you've got, say, annual contracts with a client, this might be a nice module to consider, and it integrates fully with the service, the case tracking. So this is an example of a contract with a client, and this screen again can be totally customized by you. There's specific information you want to track, but in the top half of that screen we've got all the information about the contract, dates. There's your contract number 9. Lower down here, we've got all of the products and services that we maintain at that customer. And looking at cases, do you see here we've got the cases tab and we've got 3 cases. So we can see there's been 3 cases logged against this contract, and we can dive into those to see what they are. So a nice way of managing contracts, customer contracts, with support cases as well. If I just close down all these windows here, there's a nice handy button down here to clean your desktop. And if we want to now look at all our cases, well, from that start menu, there we are in the middle, cases. So we can see now all of the cases we've got on the go, and we can put cases into different groups or views. So if you want to see all of the cases for user Fred, or all of the high priority outstanding issues, you could create little views for that, and that will display that information. Incidentally, these views here will can be easily customized by you. You can sort this list in any order you want to. You can introduce extra columns as well. So if you want to see, for example, let's say we want to see what is the case number. Well, I go down to columns here, and these are all of the available fields I can insert as a column on this summary display. So let's look at case reference there. Let's just click away. And there we are. There's the case reference. And just by clicking on this column header there, we can sort that display in ascending or descending order by the particular groups. I've got this display grouped and sorted by priority. This information can be exported, provided you've got the security clearance to do that. You can also print this information as well. Plus, talking about printing, you've got the report writer here, so you can easily print out any aspect of information in Workbooks, including All these reports are grouped and sorted into different categories. So here's all of my cases reports, and you can print those out if you want to. In a complementary way, we've got dashboards in the system, so I can see my dashboards here. Real-time display of critical information. So looking at, this is an example of dashboards looking at opportunities, and also those cases there. Those cases could be displayed as a pie chart or a bar graph, of course. And then finally, if I go to my little finance section there, I can see all of my customer contracts. There we are at a glance, all of those contracts that we've got on the go. So a quick run through there of workbooks with a little focus on customer service. Incidentally, you are able to implement a customer portal with workbooks. So if via your website you want to introduce a closer way of working with your clients, then there's a way of integrating that more fully with your website. So I'd just like to now go through some basic pricing with you. So remember the two different editions of workbooks, CRM edition and business edition. So this is the cost per user per year. You need to add VAT on top of this. There are some other options, so the Outlook integration, for example, or the contracts module, they are an extra £48 per user for those users that want that capability. So they're Outlook and contracts. Plus, being realistic, budget for any setup help you might want, any assistance in migrating data, customizing fields, and training. Do you want any training there on site, or we could do it online with you if you have specific topics you want us to cover, or you can come to our location as well. We of course can, once we understand your needs, we can give you the pricing on some of those service options there. Okay, I'd now like to come to a question session. Please type in any questions you've got into the questions section of your control panel. I'll do my best to answer those. So first question from Marie. We use Apple Mail. Does it work with that? Yes, it will. There's a feature of workbooks, Marie, called email Dropbox. Basically, you configure your email system so that as you send an email, it's copying that message into the workbook system, and as long as you've got the email address of the customer in workbooks, it's going to find a home to go to. Likewise, when the client sends you an email, you receive an email to your Apple Mail system, in the background the email together with attachments are being copied into the client's record. So you've got a copy, it's copying the message for you. Question from, hopefully Marie, that answers your question. Question from Stefan. What options have you got for restricting access? Well, you can actually really go to town on the security choices and defining user access levels. There's also an option for completely ring fencing records. So if you've got salespeople in different teams, we don't often find this, but if you're a large organization, we have come across this previously, where team A can't see team B's information and vice versa. So you can do that, Stefan, but certainly within the application of standard, we support user groups or user roles. So when you set up a new user, you can tell workbooks what type of user is it. Are they a salesperson? Are they an admin person? Are they a marketing person? So they inherit all of the things that a marketing person can do, and a person can be a member of multiple groups as well. So quite extensive capabilities there to define those user access levels, Stefan. Question from Tony. We're looking to move away from current system Sage Act, Premium 2011, to a CRM system. Will all our data format import easily to workbooks? Yes, it will, Tony. Now, your Act system, Act has what I would call a proprietary database format. It may not be possible to export all of the information from your ACT system that you may want to import into Workbooks, but there are some utilities that you can purchase for something like $100 or $200, Tony, and that will allow you to export literally everything from ACT. And then in Workbooks, we've got a very nice extensive import capability. Now we can do this for you, Tony, or we could train you on how to do this, but it is fairly straightforward to import the data that you've exported. Now the data you export from ACT may be in separate files. So you may have a file of your contacts, you may have a file of your activities, you may have a third file, Tony, of your opportunities, and those files can be uploaded down here. Do you see down the left hand side here? These are all of the parts of Workbooks that you can import into. And over on the right hand side here, these are all of the imports that I've run. And a nice feature of the import capability of Workbooks is that when you import information, the data is held in a sort of waiting area, a waiting review. So only you can see it, none of your colleagues can see it. So if you made a mistake, if you've forgotten something from ACT, you can go and redo the import. So like a sort of edit undo here. So this import here is waiting for my approval. But basically, all of these imports are, it's a mapping exercise. It's looking at ACT and seeing how we can map that data. If you've got some custom fields in ACT against a person's record, we need to find a home for it to go to. So we map this screen here, Tony, as if you like, your ACT data. We're down the left-hand side here. And over on the right-hand side, this is your workbook stuff. This is where you can put it into. And in the middle is where we've done those mappings. So what's the source? What's the target? What's the source? What's the target? Source, target. Quite straightforward. So we've done many ACT migrations before, Tony. We'd be happy to assist you there, migrate your data over. And look at the benefits of Workbooks compared to ACT. It's cloud. There's nothing to install. Don't need to worry about upgrades anymore. Multiple options for remote access. A stronger opportunity manager. It's more customizable than ACT as well. And I would say also faster than ACT. Workbooks is very, very fast. Okay, next question from Michael. Can I create a dashboard that when I open Workbooks, the first thing I can see a list of tasks a day, tasks done? Yes, you can. Any of these windows, Michael, you can pin to your desktop. That's the phrase it's called, pin to your desktop. So if I go to dashboards here, the one I saw earlier, Tim's dashboard. Do you see up here? It says there, open this window on login. So when I log into Workbooks, I will automatically see that dashboard there. Question from Paul, how much does an implementation day cost? How long does an implementation program last? Well, answer to your first question, our daily rate is £800, but we agree with you. We try and understand with you, Paul, what it is you're trying to achieve on that day. Maybe you've got some specific requirements, so we will agree with you an agenda for that day. So there is upfront, there's visibility of what we want to achieve on that day. There may be multiple days. Some complex implementations may take many days. So in answer to your second question, how long does an implementation last? Well, over the years, we've done some in a matter of an hour or two, and others because they have very simple requirements. And remember, with Workbooks, it's pretty much a ready-made system. If you started using it right now, you've seen the screens already this morning. That this is what Workbooks gives you straight away. So there's not a lot to do if you've got fairly straightforward requirements. But other customers, they want some more advanced setup options, integration. They want Workbooks to do automatic things for them. We're doing an implementation right now with a promotional goods company, and the implementation is approximately 15 to 20 days. But they have some very specific requirements over the automation of Workbooks, so that when people, for example, put in an order, the order can't be accepted until a quote has been done. So we can actually put in these little rules, this workflow, you see, to make sure that people go down a certain path. They can't deviate from that path, and nothing gets forgotten about, or there's no black holes in the system. So and an implementation like that needs a lot of project scoping. So before any commitment to those days, that number of days, Paul, we'd have a project scoping session with you. So we'd have more quality time with you, either over a phone call or a meeting there on site, to go through your setup requirements and workflow and so on. Next question from Paul, is there a scripting tool? Yes, there is. We support PHP scripting, Paul, so that's in there as well. Next question from Tony. We have 3 external sales personnel who currently only see their own customers and prospects. You have commented on ring fencing customers. Can this be done on a large scale? All areas are allocated by postcodes. Yes, we can, Tony. You would need the advanced security module, I believe. That would be an extra £48, Tony, per user. And that would allow you to completely ring fence your contacts. So by postcode, if you're a user and you have there's a customer outside of your territory, there's no way that you can see those other records there, Tony. So 100% yes, if you subscribe to this this security module, you can do that. Okay. Don't think there's any more questions coming through. So there's some really nice questions there. Thanks very much, all of you. There's half a dozen people so that placed those questions. Really good question. I'm sure they're relevant to other people as well. So it just remains for me to thank you very much for attending this morning. So think about the follow-up steps. What do we want to do next? So do you want a more detailed presentation? Please let me know. There's my contact details here for you. Please call any of us here at Wizard Systems. We'd be happy to help you out. If you want a quote, if you're fairly, if you're on the trial already and you want to know a formal quote for your setup, then again, drop me a line. Or maybe you want to set up a trial. You're not on the trial. You just initiated your inquiry of Workbooks. Get on that 30-day trial. It's so easy. There's loads of tutorials and videos up there as well. If I just close down my windows there on my desktop, do you see here training videos? Quite a lot of assistance to get you going with Workbooks. Here we go. Here's some training videos. There's quite an active YouTube video, and you can search for specific topics down here. For example, there's a little section there on importing data. Okay, well, thank you very much indeed. So this session is being recorded. We'll put it up on YouTube shortly. Please contact me. Any more information about Workbooks, be happy to help out. But thanks very much for your interest so far and your attendance this morning. Thank you.